Silky, our roving reporter today, as well as bringing us the roundup. Lovely scenery behind you in the background there.
Yeah, around the grounds currently, obviously at the home of cricket at the Seats Unique Stadium in Bristol, Neville Road. So yeah, it hasn't been raining here too much today, but I think you've had a little bit back your way.
We've had quite a bit, yeah, but hopefully clear it all out for the weekend. So last weekend, tell us the story. Where do we find ourselves?
Oh, well, we got that magic number again, 3 out of 6. We seem to be doing quite well with 3 out of 6. I think if we could get 3 out of 6 tosses won, then we might put ourselves into a better position, because I think we find ourselves batting first in many of the games. And in fact, actually, I think we batted first in all 6 fixtures last week. So, yeah, it's one of those. But I think 3 out of 6 again, if we remember or try and recall last week's conversation, there were some tough games there. And actually to come out of that with 3 out of 6 wins and some really good performances in other games, losing by 2 wickets, losing by 3 wickets, then I think it wasn't the worst of weeks, especially when perhaps selection availability perhaps wasn't as good as we'd hoped.
So we're speaking to some familiar faces this week, but also some new faces, which is good in terms of strengths in depth. First with a win as well, and they've already matched their win record from last year, and we're not even halfway through the season, so good signs there. Yeah,
look, the ones had a fantastic result. Any team that scores, that type of run, 280 or 290 odd, puts themselves in with a great chance of winning a game of cricket. And obviously what we had was, great partnerships throughout. We haven't done it too many times this year. I think there was an 80 odd first wicket partnership. Both guys getting out in the 30s, but even so, it sets himself up well. And actually, it was just some consistent performances across the top order. So that was nice. It was absolutely superb again to see Azeem scoring runs. He's settling in there. There's the confidence of runs behind him. So a good 70 odd from him. Charlesworth yet again. His batting this year has been phenomenal. He talked to us during the winter about how well his batting's looking and the way that he was feeling. But again, another 60 at Prem 1 and backed up with 3 wickets, was great. And then I think some clean hitting down the order got us to the total that we did. So it was a good performance from the ones. You're right in saying that, they've now reached the 4 wins of last year, which is superb. And the 4 wins, importantly, have come against those teams that are below us in the table. And this Saturday sees us play the other team that are below us in the table. So, it's been a good start to for the ones. My arm's dying, so I'm just going to change hands. Where else were we? 2s didn't give themselves too much chance, I'm afraid. Scoring low. But to be fair play to the bowling attack. Took 7 wickets, made a game of it. And I think if it hadn't been for a bit of a streaky innings by one of their players, even with only scoring 120, 130 odd, that could have been a victory for us. But we've just got to give ourselves the chance. Got to give ourselves the chance to win games of cricket. And I think the 2s this year, there's a helicopter, I think, going overhead here somewhere. I think the 2s in the month of June have only scored more than 145 once. So, you're not going to win many games of cricket when it's giving yourselves that chance. Even with the bowling attack that we've got, you're just making it very difficult. 3s had a tough game against Great Bedouin. It was one of those that, again, it looked like they were going to potentially get across the line. But I think their number 8 ended up with a 40 odd not out. So eventually kind of losing by 2 wickets. But we should say, and hopefully you've spoken to him or we'll be speaking to him, Timmy Dunford. We watch him play rugby and he rolls back the ears in rugby, and he certainly does it in cricket as well, with a good 80 odd, and he's going to be up into the 2s deservedly on Saturday. So big well done to Tim. And the 3s weren't far away from getting the victory that they needed. The 4s at the top of the table clashed, didn't they? I think it was against Swindon Algo. They didn't quite materialise in that game. However, again, I think it was only a 3 wicket loss in that one. People chipped in the 4s to get us a total that potentially we didn't think we'd get to at one point. Captain Lakeland, 40 odd, I think. Jackie Rumble as well, who normally we see with the ball and doing so well with the ball, but got 40 odd as well in the 4s. So well done to those guys. And then, the 5ths and the 6s had 2 fantastic wins. That they're near the foot of the table in both cases. They've now both clawed themselves out of the bottom 2-3. the fifths again have done really well, like you said, or like we said in the twos, where the twos perhaps aren't giving themselves as much of a chance with consistency in that top order. I think the top 5 batters potentially in the fives all scored 30 plus, with obviously the big Davey Hicks scoring the 90 odd. So welcome back, legend that is Dave Hicks. So he I think what he did is he splattered Bradford on Avon's bowls green as well. So I think there's some holes. I think it's like a bit of a polo mint over there, so that they won't be too happy. But it was a great win for the fives and then the sixes as well. And again, what I would say, and I'm going to reiterate it and become boring after time with this, the people that are coming back in to help the club out and get back into playing this week saw Richard Bates again playing the sixes with his son, which is wonderful to see. He contributes significantly in terms of what games look like and how they're played. The nice thing and the lovely thing, and what sixes cricket's all about, fives cricket is all about, is about giving people the opportunity to play the game. And I think 9 people bowled on Saturday for the sixes. So that was absolutely brilliant. Raj Garum had great figures, I think, of 3 for 22 off 9. So well done to Raj. And Mike Garton came back and captained and scored a 40 odd not out. So all in all, it was a successful weekend, 3 out of 6. We'd like it to be more, of course we would, but all in all, a good weekend.
Azeem, another 50 on Saturday and another win for the first team, so must be a pleasing weekend.
Yeah, of course, and as I said, if you run the score and then if it's in a winning cause for the club, that's more than pleasing.
And a 100-run partnership again with Luke. You must really enjoy batting with him.
Well, yeah, of course. You see, the way he plays, it's like whatever the situation is, it's a bit the attacking frame of mind which he plays. It gets easier when with me. Like I do like to attack also, but at the moment I've been very calculative, which I think so, and that is probably working for now. So yeah, I do enjoy with him, and then a lot of singles and doubles between each other, which helps a lot.
Fantastic, and it looked on by the scorecard a fairly comfortable victory. Would that be the case?
Yes, you can say that. Yeah, there were a few the way they started the batting. I mean, we took early 2 wickets, but then the 3rd wicket partnership was creating best bit of a problem. But then we had a 1 run out. So yeah, you can say a very, very convincing victory. But at the same time, it wasn't like 100% convincing. But yeah, in a way, with the target, of course, when you are above 270, 280, the opponent will also come hard at you. It's never going to be like easy going for you.
And now that sees the first team sort of top half of the table, 4 wins already, which was enough last year to sort of secure the place in the league. Does that mean aspirations change? Does the team look for higher sort of positions to finish within that league, or is it still a case of taking each game as it comes?
Well, it's probably more to do with the thinking. When I firstly came here, first week, I was hearing all this also, and I had a word with Jake, who's our coach and also the player, and I said it's relatively. I mean, if you're thinking the last thing, which is to just get safe in the league, why not think opposite way? And if everyone gives their 100%, you will eventually achieve what you want, but you might achieve more than that. So the thinking should be to win the league. If you're going to think that way, probably the other bit, which is maybe the important thing, of course, it's never easy. It's very, very hard to, feel it rather than say it. But because especially with the tough year, like last game, they got saved. It's very hard, but the mindset should be that. And I've seen that. I mean, the first game which we won against probably Cleveland, they that get a lot of encouragement to the team who has won the league last year, probably. So that is how. And then, of course, it's a long season. It's still going to be a lot of ups and downs, but thinking should always be like that.
Luke, this is becoming a regular occurrence on the weekend roundup, which is obviously a good sign. You must be feeling pretty good about how your cricket's going with Chippenham at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like every time I speak to you, Wardy, I do well on the weekend. So long may it continue. But yeah, no, I'm feeling good with bat and ball. And yeah, things are going well at the moment. So it's long may that continue, really.
Great stuff. And another 100 partnership with Azeem. We spoke to Azeem about it. But yeah, from your point of view, it must be nice to bat together.
Yeah, I think like we're becoming sort of batting partners, as it were. We've spent quite a bit of time at the crease together already. So you know, I think we're used to the way each other plays, and he's more of like an anchor role, which is nice for me because it means I can, you know, play a few more shots and you know, free the arms a little bit more, knowing that Azeem's gonna stick around there. But yeah, no, we keep saying to each other, it's nice to bat together. But yeah, I'm chuffed for him as well. He's got 2 knocks in 2 weeks, and you know, he seems to be on a roll at the moment. So yeah, that's good.
Great. So we're coming up to the midpoint as well in the league season. 4 wins under the belt. Where does the team go from here then, Luke?
I think, you know, considering we won 4 games last year, and narrowly sort of avoided relegation, now we can start looking at, you know, a sort of top 5, top 4 finish in the league. I think we're placed 5th right now. And if we keep doing what we're doing, hopefully we'll be looking at sort of a 4th or 5th at least finish, which would be incredible, considering, you know, last year's struggles. But yeah, no, I think that's what we're looking for. Just I suppose it's game by game. Just, you know, we've got Thornbury away this week, which is a winnable match. Just taking it week by week, and hopefully we can get on a roll, because that's how cricket works, really, isn't it? So yeah, that's the plan.
Tim, really good to have you on the weekend roundup, and a fantastic 86 for the 3rd team against Great Bedwin. Must be pleased with that knock.
Certainly am, after the start of the season I've had, to be honest. It's been a bit torrid, to put it mildly. So yeah, it was quite good to get a good knock out there. Sort of changed a few things, you know, changed my guard and sort of went with a bit more of a positive attitude this week, and it seemed to work. So hopefully we can carry on with that. Fantastic.
Yeah, long may that continue. So good knock for yourself, but unfortunately coming on this wrong side of the result, and the defeat. Was it a close game?
Yeah, well, obviously we lost by 2 wickets in the end. But yeah, fielding wasn't the best. I think we dropped 7 or 8 catches, I think, which, you know, in any standard of cricket, you're not going to win games by doing that, unfortunately. On the whole, bowlers, we struggled a little bit up front, gave a lot of freebies away, you know, and that extra sort of 20 runs in extras probably cost us the game in the end, because we only had 2 overs left, so it would have been a totally different kettle of fish. But you know, it's the way it is. You know, the threes have struggled a little bit this year, but hopefully we can. If we play this weekend, we can turn the corner and get a good win and start moving up the table a little bit.
Yeah, and it's been I guess swings and roundabouts with the 13. There's been some good wins in there, and then some defeats. What do you think is the secret of perhaps getting a bit of a run together in that team?
I think it's continuity in the team. I think Coley was saying the other day, we've used like 40 odd players in 7 games, which, you know, is not the best to get some continuity in the team. Yeah, okay, you got 3 or 4 players that have played regularly, obviously Emily and Coley and people like that. But then it's everybody else sort of either having to move up into the 2s or not available. And, you know, it is frustrating, you know, but I'm sure if we can get some continuity in our, you know, we get 6 or 7 playing week in, week out, I'm sure that will change, you know, because we have got some good players there, but it's just having that opportunity to do it, really, I suppose.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, hopefully that turns the corner this weekend, and good luck on Saturday.
Yep, great. Oh, I'll say I'm actually up in the 2s this week, so
Okay.
so again, there's a bit of a change in the team for the 3s again this week.
Good luck on Saturday. Reward for your runs, obviously, Tim.
Well, hopefully that's what it is.
Cheers, Tim.
Okay, no problem, mate. Catch up soon.
Dave, we'll get on to the game and your innings, but we've got to ask the question. That does not look like Chippenham behind you, so where do we find you?
Well, Yamas Wardy from sunny Cyprus. After pulling a hamstring at the weekend, that to come away for a week for warm weather training just to kind of ease the progress. So step up for another game as soon as I can. So week's holiday in sunny Cyprus, mate.
Good to see that commitment. Good to see that commitment with the warm weather training. So yeah, Saturday got tempted into another game after your game a couple of weeks ago, and you came back with 93 runs. How does that feel?
Shocked. No, it's really, didn't expect it, to be honest. We all went down to Bradford-on-Avon, who hadn't been beaten in the league this season. And it was all positive. It was really good game to play in. I think they were expecting an easy game, but with new young captain Dan Lakeland giving us a team talk like Ben Stokes and giving Benish and Josh the freedom to go out and get us a great opening partnership, and then Ian Lysick coming in after that and just keeping his end going nicely, and then I could come in and got in and got a bit of freedom to start opening up a little bit. And I would like to say it was chanceless, but I think I got dropped about 5 times, so the luck was on my side. But those days, no matter where you're playing and who you're playing with, those days are lovely, no matter how old you get or young you are. So really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I was going to say, so you've obviously had a couple of games now. Are you enjoying being back out there and playing again?
Yeah, it hurts, and your brain thinks you can do stuff that you used to do, but your body soon lets you know that you can't, especially on the Sunday and Monday. But when you're with the lads, no matter, as I say, no matter where you are and where you're playing, being with a team and a team you enjoy playing with is great, and then getting a win is always good. So yeah, it was good.
Any slight disappointment of being 7 runs off the big 100?
Yeah. Well, my previous high score was 93, not out, and then to get 93 and out on a ball that should have gone again into the woods. It was disappointing, but like I said, I've been dropped a couple of times, so I'd happily take that before the game, and I'd have liked to have got a ton because I've never done that yet. So there we go.
So warm weather training complete this week. Hamstring back in working order. Can we expect to see you back out there again?
Yeah, I don't think so the following week, but after that, maybe might get a game in and try and get like another, I don't know, 2, 3 or 4. I've just left it. I don't want to step in and push somebody out of the game who's playing regularly and that. But if I'm available and any of the teams need me to play, then obviously I'd love to step in and give it a go. Yeah.
Looking ahead then, Silky, hoping for that first NAM Slam this weekend. How is that looking? What games have we got in store?
It's an interesting week where we have a number of games where we're playing similar positioned teams. So it's quite an exciting week. So it could be one of those where we end up from 0 from 6, or we end up 6 from 6, or we just end up with 3 from 6 again, but good performances, hopefully. So what have we got this week? We've got the first team playing against Thornbury. So if we remember back, Wardy, to the last time we played against them in 2019, when me and you were donning the whites in a winner-takes-all game in Prem 2, Thornbury have got into Prem 1 of the fact that they won the division last year. They've had a couple of good wins this season, which has been absolutely fantastic for them. And, from my perspective, with wearing the Gloucestershire badge, it's great to see Thornbury back up in Prem 1 and doing so well. So we'll have a tough game against them on Saturday, no doubt. They're tough, gritty performers, some excellent batters. So, that'll be a good game of cricket. And the nice thing is, if we win that game, that'll be our 5th win of the season. And it will be lovely to be 5th in the division, having beaten those 5 teams below us in the league. So, hopefully a really positive week weekend ahead for the ones. Twos, we have got Calne. Again, another local derby, which is always great, always adds a little bit to it. It's a game where our twos perhaps are slightly underperforming, but we're playing against a team that are 7th in the table, and we've got a real opportunity to get things right and put that right in the league. So they play against Calne. Our threes play against Swindon threes, and I think that's something like 7th versus 9th or 8th versus 9th. So again, quite an important fixture in the grand scheme of things with leagues. I know we're only halfway through, or it's the last round of games in the first half of the season, but it's quite an important fixture. The fours, whilst they had that loss last week to Naogo, they've got Chippenham, I think it is this week, where they are, I think it's 2nd versus 4th in the division. So again, it's another tough game of cricket, but again, if you're going to bounce back, it's great to bounce back against one of those teams that you're going to be playing against. The fives have got a game against Potton Fours, where they are going to be 2 teams towards the bottom of the league currently. So again, it's a very equally matched fixture. And then the sixes go to Barford, or play at home, no, play away at Barford Twos, which again is a similar place league match. So all in all, it's some quite exciting games this weekend. We wouldn't necessarily say, one's a favourite over any of the others. If we perform well, and we know we do, if we do what we know we can do, then there's no reason why we can't come back with an slam and have an enjoyable evening together.